Monongahela. We are here at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. Coming up, we got a good matchup on tap here, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Shifts by him, and he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Off the bootleg, here's McCarthy. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down. And we see the emphasis early here. Get your star receiver involved, able to do it successfully.
Not a bad start to begin with, that's for sure. And to me, this play says our guy is better than your guys. Because, you know, a player of his stature, he won't just be single covered all game long. It's going to involve multiple people. And right away, they told the other team, guess what? He's just better.
No gain on the play there. Second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 40. 18 yards the gain for number 18. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it's second down.
A 3-yard pickup brings up second and 7 at the Steelers' 37-yard line.
Looking to throw McCarthy. Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 24-yard line. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. They clearly wanted to come out, Charles, and be aggressive throwing the football, and they've been pretty efficient along with that aggressiveness. He's now 4 of 4 on this opening drive.
Yeah, and that's led to a fresh set of downs. I like what he's doing back there. You can tell he's at ease. Feels good about what he's doing. I think if I'm the play caller, I'm reading that and I'm continuing to let him throw the football.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be second down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Ooh, the juke. And the Vikings are going to be set up with a first and goal as strong running gets them to the 9-yard line. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things up? Because if you don't, they're going to put that ball in the end zone real soon.
And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. Stopped in his tracks and given a loss on that play by Patrick Queen. That's about as good as a linebacker can diagnose that play, isn't it?
It certainly is, and what he did really well is that while he was diagnosing, he got his feet in motion without actually going anywhere and taking a false step that he had to make up later. He read it, got his feet in motion, and then he just took off and made the play.
Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a third and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
And they're going to get him. They bring it down to sack back at the 16-yard line. Alex Highsmith making a nice play and getting the sack.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. And his kick is indeed good. And the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender, it's almost like, whew, we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty well.
Oh, nice move. Looking to put a drive together.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Give them 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give them a 1st down. Interior of that line blocked really well on that run, but also the 2 tight ends, they blocked well too.
Not only they scouted the line of scrimmage, with their agility, they can get upfield and hit moving targets like linebackers, defensive backs. They do a really good job helping out the running game.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And we often talk about defensive ends setting the edge, sometimes even the outside linebackers. But how about here? This is a cornerback essentially setting the edge and finishing off that play for a loss.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. Got his man. It's Warren. So the completion gets him just a yard. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Now Rodgers. Now he's flushed out left. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the 1st down.
Now they run straight ahead with Warren. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On the give, it's Warren. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more.
No gain on the play.
I guess that was a little better. He got back to the line of scrimmage there after the loss on 1st down, but now you're still dealing with a 3rd and long.
So let's put on our offense coordinator hat. They've been very aggressive against the run the last 2 plays. I'm thinking screen right here. Let him come get the quarterback and dump it off. There could be some room to roam.
He's got his target. That's complete. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 24-yard line. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
1st and 10 at the 24-yard line.
On play action. Now Rodgers. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. 2nd and 10. Throwing is Rodgers. That'll be caught left side by Woods. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area, and after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
This now a 3rd and 4. And again, it's Rodgers. And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And that sack there, that likely brings out the field goal unit, so they might have to settle for 3 here on their opening drive.
They did some nice things, getting things started there, moving the ball downfield, but taking that sack on third down, that lets the air out of the momentum balloon just a little bit.
Boswell's kick is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So matching field goals on our opening 2 drives.
Yeah, it feels like 2 boxers feeling each other out here in the early going of the game, right? Exchanging some jabs, but none of the heavy stuff just yet.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out now joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. But prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
Third down from the gun, McCarthy. And that is incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
So on 4th down, Ryan Wright on to punt for Minnesota. The back deep for the Steelers is Calvin Austin. Fielded just inside the 20. So now a 56-yard punt with a 14-yard return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. A handoff for Warren. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
On the run, it's Warren. And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. A strong 8 yards will keep this drive rolling.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 5 at the 45-yard line.
A tight one after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter action from Pittsburgh. It is the Steelers in control of the football. Ball placed at the 45 for 2nd and 5. Running left, it's Warren. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
How about the job there on the outside? Shed the wide receiver and was able to make the tackle on the perimeter.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Well, he's going to go for it all. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
On fourth down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds, back near their own 20. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit, even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Throwing is McCarthy. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He had no options downfield there and just chucked it out of bounds.
There was no one open. He was in the pocket. Where was the intentional grounding call?
Oh, you wanted the flag.
Of course I did. I'm a defensive guy. You know that. Where was the flag? The officials point out that someone was in the area. He got away with one.
To the air with McCarthy. Setting up the screen here, Aaron Jones. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
When I see a defensive coordinator get upset and throw his headset, this is the kind of play that'll do it. You force 3rd and long. This is almost sort of a give-up play. You're just hoping to get something positive, and it winds up breaking big, and they convert on 3rd down.
There go play action. Here's McCarthy. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Alex Highsmith. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back. And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on 1st down. They didn't get all of it back, but now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
He really looked comfortable there, scanning the situation, analyzing things, feeling the pressure, and then stepping up right through the middle and sprinting for a first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. McCarthy off the play fake. In trouble, and he's taken down. Alex Highsmith able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another, because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
I like what they tried to do there. Tried to hit him with something quick, get the ball in his hands, and hope he could make some yards after the catch and pick up a first down. Weren't able to do so on that play.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away.
The Steelers take over first.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. First and 10. Only able to gain a couple there, and that'll make it second down.
Brings up second and 8 at the 24-yard line.
To throw, it's Rodgers. A short one there to Freiermuth. He takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be second down.
A gain of 5 brings up second and 5 at the 41-yard line.
They'll run it. Warren trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here is third down and 4. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And he finds Austin complete. And he's brought down short. 2 yards there, needed 4.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points seeded.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts. One advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down.
There on the tackle. A 3-yard gain on the play brings up third down.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Now McCarthy. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
And now a fake on the jet sweep, but a give to Jones. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times, and what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
Here's McCarthy. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Vikings
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
And he'll get this one across midfield and down into Steeler territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting 1 more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's third down.
They'll go to the air here on 3rd and 2.
This one swung out here to Jones.
And he will have a Vikings first down by about a yard as they're able to convert on 3rd and 2.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
On play action, McCarthy. And that is incomplete. Wow, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And it's 3rd down.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. To the air again, McCarthy. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 25-yard line.
First down, Minnesota.
On play action, now McCarthy. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. That's Cameron Hayward who got in there to take him down.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Out route to Jefferson, and he's got it. Call it a gain of a yard. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
It's a gain of a yard. And it's 3rd down.
A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains. Looking to throw McCarthy. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So we're trading first half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. We got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Second down and a yard. Now a play fake. Rodgers. This is caught. It's Woods. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's first and 10. Now Rodgers. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with second and a yard.
They asked him to take charge and get them to a spot where they could at least attempt to kick before the half, and he does just that. Didn't trust what he saw downfield, so he took it upon himself to get them into field goal range using his legs. That's coming through with a play they needed in a big spot.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
They tried the throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Now Rodgers. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
First and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And completes it again to Metcalf. And he is out of bounds, looks like right at the 15. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be second down.
Second and 3.
Now it's Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Metcalf. Oh, he's going to be brought down a few yards short of the goal line, and they're going to be unable to stop the clock from here. So close yet so far, and that's going to be how this first half will come to an end. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Well, paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half, so make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps, but above all, play your game.
Now a 2nd and 10. On play action. Now Rodgers. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
The tackle made at the 36-yard line. A gain of 9 brings up 3rd and 1.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Here's Rodgers. That is caught. Look at the big fella go. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 52 yards.
And normally when you think about huge field-flipping plays like this, it's that shifty slot receiver, that burner on the outside. Not here. That's a tight end doing work down the field. Where's the oxygen mask? He's going to need it after that one. A big, big play.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. The throw left sideline falls incomplete.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To throw is Rodgers. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a fourth down.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big third down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big fourth down call.
Boswell's kick is good, and that will tie things up at 6-6. So they come away from this opening drive in the third quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job one, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And their 3-point halftime lead gone now, back to a tie game. But, Charles, I don't imagine that changes too much for this offense.
I would agree. I don't think it changes much at all, whether it's a 3-point lead or a tie game. They know they have their work cut out for them, and they were going to run their offense in the same vein.
Here's a 2nd and 3 now from the 33. Throwing is McCarthy. Finds his man. There's Jordan Addison. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Mason going to get it on first down. And a lane slow materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 9. To the air with McCarthy. A dump off for Mason. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Now the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. He gets it to Addison. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring up 4th down. And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. 10 yards there to start the drive and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Running a jet sweep. This is Austin. And that is well read there defensively. He was looking to use his speed to get the edge, but they said no way.
It's a loss of 2.
Well, as a wideout, when you take that handoff and you're coming around the edge, you're expecting to see nothing but empty space in front of you. But if not...
Well, things can go south in a hurry, and that's exactly what we saw on that play with a loss. To throw, it's Rodgers. Airing it out deep for Woods. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to fourth down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's third down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now McCarthy. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. Straight ahead, here's Mason. To about the 35, second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
From the 35, here's second down at 7. And they'll go again with Mason. And they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
Now the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this third and long. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down. Gain of 9 that time on the scramble, 1 yard shy of the marker, and it brings up fourth.
That was a good effort there trying to do it on his own, but as a defender, you're in a tough spot because you have coverage responsibilities behind you, and if you take off too quick to try and get him down, he might loft it over your head.
So better to track with your man defensively than try to go up and make a stop on the quarterback.
Exactly right. What you're hoping is that your guys in the front 7 can get him down.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it first and 10. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Isaiah Rodgers up to make the tackle.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Second and 9 now from the 21. Now Roman Warren. Oh, he shifts past him. And he'll get about 6 up to the 27-yard line.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They'll come up now, 3rd and 3. Rodgers now to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10.
Well, we all know possessions are crucial in a tie game, and let's face it, I really didn't need to tell you that. You already knew it. So when he sees he's got nothing good going, an excellent decision to just send that one to the sideline.
There go play action. Here's McCarthy. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
Well, the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before it's taken down. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Here's McCarthy. This is caught by Addison. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 36. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And this is not going to work as planned. He's going to be met and dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Alex Highsmith simply would not be stopped on that play. But that's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 13-yard line. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Now what we're seeing, this is much better from this offense, because so far in this game, no touchdown to this point. And what's usually a direct correlation? Very few explosive plays. That's been their issue, not able to make that big shot downfield or break one off. But a nice game there for a 1st down.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
As expected, he's gone to him several times in this game, but that's the first time one has slipped from his grasp. I'll bet he goes back to him, though. He's an excellent player.
They'll hand it to Mason. And here's another tackle made at the line, so they're converging well on the football now. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
Well, the terrible towels in full force now as the Steelers get set to defend this 3rd and long. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. JJ McCarthy. A 13-yard touchdown run. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in the final seconds of the 3rd quarter. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. A touchdown would tie it. They trail 13-6 as they come up with a 1st and 10. Sacked by Andrew Van Ginkel.
loss of 7. Brings up 2nd and 17 at the 19-yard line.
3 quarters have come and gone. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. Here's Warren. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
A gain of 9, not enough, and it's 4th down.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Right back to Mason. Nifty move. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings.
It's always been funny to me, Brandon, when coaches always talk about on hot days like the one we have here, well, it's hot for both teams. But when one team has the advantage, when one team is running the ball really well and closing things out, it's hotter for the defensive side, and they sag a lot quicker.
Yeah, they say the dog days of August, the heat we're seeing here today, dog days of September, and the advantage right now on the offensive side. He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front 3, your front 4, your front 5, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit. And that's what he did on that play.
It'll be a gain of 5, and that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the 1st, getting 14 yards on the scramble. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing that it was time to exit the pocket and go.
And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. 44 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
As many games as the two of us do, I would hope that one day we'll be able to solve this riddle. Why is it on a hot day that one team has more trouble with the heat than another, and especially when you can't stop a guy running the ball?
You know it's September in the booth, though, when you and I have both removed our coats, and those were gone in the 1st quarter.
They were gone in the 1st quarter, and what we're watching now is a defense mentally giving in and sagging a little bit because they haven't been able to stop him.
Now, how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
To the back of the end zone, but too high. Over everybody and incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run.
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Second and goal, and they will try again from the 2-yard line. Looking to throw. McCarthy. Under pressure now, he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
Third and goal, McCarthy. And that'll be incomplete with a penalty flag here on the field. And I'm not sure he was still behind the line when he let that thing go.
And this one is right through. And that one makes this a 10-point game at 16-6.
So that's, CD, an important one here in the fourth quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
Rodgers going to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. Just a gain of a couple there. And it's second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing is Rodgers. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
Throwing now is Rodgers. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a fourth down.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his fourth down call.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over first and 10.
They'll start with a run by Mason.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Looking to throw McCarthy.
Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Hawkinson. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think he continued to do so.
63 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the fourth quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
They run the option here on first and 10. Yeah, good work there in open space. He's got this all the way down now to the 32.
Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. He's been pretty good with his legs in this game. A really nice gain there. Defensively, they've been okay covering downfield, but you got to account for the quarterback, right?
Yeah, and that's the hardest part because normally when you play 11 on 11, it's truly not 11 on 11. Defensively, you don't account for the quarterback in the run game. You account for everyone else and hope that you can catch him before he gets to the first down marker. But as you noticed, he's been doing it a little bit. This time he saved his best for this run.
Saving one of his best for the fourth quarter. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down.
On play action, McCarthy.
Incomplete.
McCarthy's pass. Incomplete on the throwaway. It's third down. And 2 yards to go.
Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
On the give, it's Mason.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that first down gain of 8.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
And his kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stall-down drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
Steelers first down. 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Now Rodgers. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Here's 2nd and a yard.
They fake the give. Now Rodgers. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
All 3 timeouts remain, but they've got to score quick. It's 1st and 10.
On play action, it's Rodgers. That's caught inside the 20. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Here's 1st down.
Here's Rodgers to throw. Left side here taken in by Metcalf. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. DK Metcalf. An 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Steelers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And the lead will shrink to 6.
the score, Vikings 19, Steelers 13.
So they got one of the 2 touchdowns they needed. Now for the onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job.
Recovered by the Vikings.
And now looking at the clock here, they do have 2 timeouts, but even if they force a 3 and out, they're going to have very little time remaining.
So that means they've got to be aggressive and find a way to knock the ball free. They've got to come up with it because they can't just rely, as you noted, on using their timeouts and getting the ball back. They might not have any time to mount an attack.
We couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here.
They'll run again with Mason. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 36-yard line.
You'd have to think likely another running play coming here. 2nd and 11. To the right goes Mason. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the 1st down.
A 5-yard pickup. It's now 4th down.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to perhaps salt this one away. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will make this a 9-point lead. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we got to find 2 scores. So, you know, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done. But, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too.
This is 1st and 10.
35-yard line.
Rodgers to throw. Incomplete. And we're down to 8 seconds now.
You get into these 2-minute drill situations and you often got tired legs on the offensive line. But these defenders, they've been rotating in and out, and they're a little bit fresher and quicker. And the pressure there forced the incompletion.
They'll come up now on 2nd down.
To throw is Rodgers.
That's to Freiermuth.
And he'll be taken down here, and that is how this one is going to come to an end. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory.